Hello everybody. We'll just wait to kickstart the qualifying, of course, but I'll just say hello to y'all. Hello Gavin, hello Foggy, hello Mr. Nolan. I'll just have a quick chat with you lot before we begin. It's a very important race. It's obviously race number 1, but I'll go through all of that in a second. I'm also just eating a very quick snack before we waste our vocals on these lot. So, welcome everybody. Sit tight, we'll get going very shortly. Good evening, Mr. Vasto Racer. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for 3 more drivers. We do have a full grid tonight, I've been told, which is going to be really good. Of course, it's the fastest drivers the league has to offer, so I'm very excited to see how Bahrain will go. I'm sure you all are too. Like I said, we're just waiting for these 3 drivers, and then we'll crack on, alright? Ladies and gentlemen, hello, how are we? I hope you've had a good Saturday. I hope you're here for some good racing this evening. Welcome to Sakhir, Bahrain. My name is Jack, Captain Limit. I'll be your commentator this evening. Should be a good session. I don't actually have anyone with me. F2 and F3 has 2 people, but F1 doesn't. So I will do my best to keep on top of everything as possible. I've already done Bahrain once in the past week, so I'm pretty confident that we should be okay. Excuse me, we were waiting for 20 drivers. 3 drivers are running a little bit late to not compensate the session. We decided to carry on, and we have a new grid this season. It is a brand new season. This is, of course, the first race of 2020. And make sure, if you have any comments, questions, predictions, whack them in the chat. As much as it is my job to commentate for you, your job is to get involved, so make sure you do that. I have been up since 6 AM. I've done an 11-hour shift, but I'm fully awake to crack on with this tonight. And what we'll do now is, when the McLaren of Montana comes through the start-finish line, we'll take you on a lap of Bahrain. We'll label out the turns for you if none of you are fully capable or fully knowledgeable on the different turns. Then we will discuss the new grids this season. Then by that time, the first lot of laps will be in. We would have understood maybe what the initial pace is, quali pace, and then we'll see. So let's catch up with the chat very quickly. No one is, he is driving tonight, as you can see. He's in the Williams. Welcome, Mr. Nolan. Let's go, boys, says Chapelele. Chapelele, he's not racing tonight, but he's up for it as well, I guess. Good luck, everyone, says Jordan. Prediction, 1 Nolan, 2 Zach, 3 Thomas. Okay. I like it. Oh, I forgot to take you on a lap. Right, let's get on a car that's close to the finish. We'll take you on a Mercedes. Why not? The silver arrows. I don't know why I was going to say the flying arrows. I have no idea where that was going to come from. We'll take you on a lap. We'll discuss the new grid, and then we'll see what the times are. Right. So this, should we do it on board? Let's do it on board for you. Hopefully the volume's okay. Let me know if it isn't. Right. The drivers will start by activating their DRS for zone number 1. As they go past the start finish straight. This is number 1. Easy to lock up if you have no assists off. Easy to overshoot the braking. This is turn number 2. Drivers can clip the curb too much and get a pen. This is turn number 3. And this is the second straight. Down to turn 4. This is quite tricky to lock up. You can lose traction. It does have a bit of a gradient. This is turn 5 for the little left-hander. This is turn 6 for right-hander. And this is turn 7 now. Down to the lock-upable turn 8 here. Different driving lines for there. They can take it inside immediately, take it a bit of an outie, and then, you know. This is turn number 9, the little left. This is turn number 10, probably the hardest corner on the track to get wrong. And down the third straight we go. This is where the second DRS zone is, of course. You all know this. This is turn 11. It's like a kind of not a 180 degree, but like a 160 degree turn. The drivers can abuse the track limits going over the white line. This is turn number 12, down to 13 here. Don't go on the right hand side curb or you will probably end up DNFing. This is the 4th straight, I guess, down to turn number 14. There's only 2 turns to go. That is 14, and this little one here is 15, and that is a lap of Bahrain. So let's go through the grids for you. Because we've had some changes. We had a pre-season, why are my hands itchy? We had a pre-season race in Belgium. We had we used the results of that to make a couple of changes to the grid, and they did make a couple of changes to the grid. I'm just going to try and can I post a screenshot in the chat? I don't think I can, but let's see. Right, the grid. So we should have Thomas and Alpi for Mercedes. I think we've only got Thomas, so we've only got 1 Mercedes. Will G and Juice in the Ferrari. We have got the Ferraris. Aero and Brett in the Red Bull. I think we just got Aero. So we got a Mercedes missing and a Red Bull missing. Raikkonen and Zach. They're here. In the Renault. Dylan Warren and Jordan in the Haas. Dylan Warren and Jordan isn't here, I don't think, so that should complete the grid. Montana and Lion, yes. Luke and Fruitful Coot, yes. Vapori, I need to think of a word for his name, and Josh. I'm sure there's a way to say it, I just haven't been told. They're here. Lewis and Semi. Lewis is here. Semi's here. And Midnight and Chapelele. Midnight's here, Chapelele isn't. So that completes the grid for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Zach doing softs with a cheeky eye wink. I swear I'm missing something. No, I don't think I am. Right, some of the, I did say some of the lap times will come in, and they have. Zach is provisional pole at the minute with a 26.655. Now, question for the chat is, does anyone know the lap record for Bahrain. Haha, here's a question for you fat fans. It was set by Pedro de la Rosa in 2005. Somehow not been beaten last year, I'm pretty sure. I'll just go double check that, because last year's lap by Leclerc was pretty quick. Can anyone have a guess at the lap record? Because I'll just go double check that. I'll just think about the ticket prices, by the way. If you wanted to watch an F1 race in Bahrain, the best package you can possibly get, which is the Legend package, is... how much is it? With a 4-night stay in a hotel, £4,999. Woo! Chapelele, mate. 34447, mate. That was defo some Google research. Come on. Right, let's get on with some racing. Thomas is 10th up. He's going to pit. Lyons half a that's on his previous lap. Midnight's not on a new lap. Luke is on a faster lap, I think. He's beating his time by 0.04 of a second. Can he go into 6th place or more? He can go into 6th place. He beats it by just under 0.2 of a second. So at the moment we got Zach in provisional pole. No one is second. Dylan is 3rd. Thomas 4th. Lion 5th. Luke 6th. Midnight 7th. Montana 8th. Fleetwood Coot 9th. Completing the top 10 so far is Sam. Fleetwood Coot crosses the line 28 dead. He goes 6th fastest so far. Sam is not on a lap. Lewis is potentially on a lap, just coming through turn 11 now. 29.4 so far. We will see what he can finish this lap off. 8 minutes of qualifying has gone. 10 minutes is left. Why am I in voice chat as Lewis is going off the track? I didn't even know I was doing that. I'll try and fix that. Hello everybody, mic check. Oh, I don't know if it's working. Oh, I think it's working, boys. Right, sorry about the... I think the drivers that weren't in a party just heard me commentate for the first 8 minutes, but lucky for them, eh? Right, anyone on the lap? Fleetwood is not, Luke isn't, Sam wasn't, Will is though. Let's remain on board with the Ferrari. He's on a set of hard tyres, and that's quite weird. So 11th and 12th, Sam and the Ferrari of Will have exactly the same time. That's mad. And Josh is only 8 milliseconds behind them as well. Oh, the Ferrari's lost it, locked up the front so he don't travel too close to the wall. Decent control after the loss of traction, and he'll wait for the drivers to go past. Right. In terms of the leader gap, let's not include the leader for a second. From 2nd to 14th is only 0.8 of a second. So the gap at the moment is pretty close. So that cancels Will's lap. Zach is potentially on a lap, but he is 500ths up, I think that was. He comes across the line. Does he improve? 26.6. He goes 26.5. 3.8. He beats it by a 10th. He goes pole just by that little bit more of a fraction. And I don't think anyone else is on a lap. Montana maybe. Montana is on a lap. He's 13 milliseconds down on his time at the moment. Oh, that's a nice dynamic view. Could give us some more of that, Codemasters. Anyway, guys, let me know what you've, of course, predictions. We've had a prediction of Chapelele already. He's gone on straight out there with a Nolan win. I've never seen Nolan race. He wasn't in the pre-season, so we'll see. I saw some of these drivers, of course, in Belgium. Of course, track favoritism changes. Some of the drivers will like Bahrain, some of them maybe won't. I don't know how you can dislike Bahrain. Apart from turn 10, it's not too bad, is it? We'll just watch Montana. He needs to. He's got a 28.350 as it stands. And let's see if he can cross the line anything. Crosses the line 28.165, beats it by just under 2 tenths. He moves up to 10th in the first of the points positions for the moment. Now, I'm guessing it's dry, it's Bahrain. However, last year, I was told, but not this league, I don't think, but Bahrain was actually raining. I mean, what is that? We have, I was going to say something, but I completely forgot. No one is a 10th up on this time on the hard compounds. 6 minutes of qualifying to go, people. Chapeau, by the way, 31.4% is bang on. Bang, a 10th quicker, 27.681. Thomas goes third. That wasn't Thomas. Who was it? I think it might have been Dylan, actually. I don't know, someone moved up. Didn't quite catch it. 4th and 5th separated by 3 milliseconds. 5th and 6th separated by 16 milliseconds. Then 30 milliseconds. Then 35 milliseconds. Yeah, it's pretty close. I'd rather you all understand that a lot better. Laps on 100%. Divide that by this evening. I mean, come on. I mean, we're not going to... I'm just trying to see who's on a fresh set of tyres. Lewis is on a fresh set of tyres, coming in, taking as much of that curb as humanly possible, while trying to keep all them tyres inside the white line. That white line down to 14. If one tyre goes a little bit over it, that's it. Your lap will be invalidated immediately. I think his back tyre just remained on me. He whacks on the DRS. He's got to be at 29.4, 27.6, 1.7 seconds quicker. He goes from 50th to 3rd very quickly. And he's still got time, potentially, to pit if he hurries up and get out. I think the cut-off point is about 2 minute 10-ish, if you don't have to wait for people. We'll just catch anyone who's closest to the line. He's just side. Luke's pretty close to the line. We can remain on board with the racing point of Luke for a little bit. He's on mediums now. The quickest medium time so far has been set by Lewis, who's got exactly the same time as Nolan. Madness, 27.681. A lot of the cars getting exactly the same time here, which is quite peculiar. I've never ever seen that yet. I mean, I have only been commentating for a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, to be fair, but I haven't seen it. Even 7 Wheels here have still got exactly the same time. Right, Luke begins his lap. This will probably be his final attempt to get the quickest lap possible he can on the mediums. It looks like he's going to be beginning on the mediums, as is every driver apart from 4 of them. So we will see if he has improved on previous sector times. He has improved by just over a tenth. So far, he's probably looking, even with a 10th off, potentially even 5th already, if he can keep it up. I believe the second sector time is just after turn 11, but I might be wrong. Of course. I'm sure you'll learn that I am wrong on a few occasions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just been told that the Elite Racing Formula 2 and Formula 3 is now live on the YouTube. Might be a bit late in saying that, but if you have a friend or a foe, if you that you would like to see having a good time tonight, then you can head over to those respective channels. I'm absolutely certain that this race will not, hopefully, get less exciting, shall we say. It should be close action, just like Belgium was. Luke crosses the line half a second quicker. He goes from 10th to provisional 2nd, and that will be probably his final attempt at putting a lap in. Not a bad effort. Juice is not on a lap. Lion's not on a lap. Fruitful Coot goes... I don't even know. I think this is the start of his lap. My apologies. We'll remain on board with the other Racing Point. The other one moved up considerably. 10th to 2nd. Can Coot do the same as he's currently in the 10th position? His teammates going to make sure he gets out of the way and to give him the best possible opportunity. The best lap on medium so far, 27.571. Luke is happy with that time. He takes 2nd place. He retires from the session. I'm just going to try and gauge after the Racing Point passes the line. There's a yellow flag in every sector. Just to gauge what the driver order will be at the end of qualifying. And we will see. So down to turn 11 he goes, just after a 2nd DRS point. Turns 11 and 12 are quite good corners actually. A lot of drivers like them. I think you can do them even with no traction at full power if you abuse the track limits as much as possible, which is really good. The Racing Point of Fruitful Coot cancels his lap. He's going to go next lap, I think. I don't think he'll be happy with 11th. Montana goes 2/10 quicker, I think, on his previous lap, but this is his proper lap, and this is where we see Montana has the pace to move up in 12th position in qualifying at Bahrain. Every driver but 4, 2 of them are out anyway, so any two of the 15 drivers at the moment on soft tyres. I'm not sure what Montana clocked into the first sector there. I was looking at the standing grid. The qualifying has ended, so anyone that passes the line now, their lap will only count if they did so within the time, of course. And Juice has locked in that 2nd place. I didn't even see him go up the grid, but both Ferraris have gone 2nd and 3rd. Apologise for missing it. I'll do my best. The gap from 2nd to 14th is only a 2nd. Really close times at the moment. I'll just go stick on a car and tick off the times as we go. Thomas goes 2nd place, now 3rd place, 27.105. No one goes 2nd place, 27.004. I don't think anyone will catch Zach, as he did a decent lap in softs, I guess. Lion goes 5th, 27.178. Juices dropped to 7th. VRT Josh in the Alpha is 7th. Montana goes 3rd, 27.076. The top 9 are locked in. Can any of the drivers improve on their times? Sem's not on the lap. Will G's not on the lap. Lewis is on the lap. Coot is half a second quicker. I don't think he is. Maybe he is. Coot will be the first one to cross. And we'll see what time Fruitful Coot crosses the line. He crosses the line 27.3. He goes 10th fastest, and Lewis cancels the lap even though he's 8/10 quicker. Obviously he wants to start on the mediums at the back. Sam will be driving into the pits, and we will get a confirmation very shortly of your final standings on your screen very shortly. Yes, the gaps are mental. Give me my commentary XP. There you go. So take away Zach. He did it on soft tyres. The gap from 2nd to 15th is it's less than 3/4 of a second. So the gap is really close this evening. Zach needs a good start on the softs. He needs to get clear. He needs to get away as much as he can, because the better track positioning as the early laps fly, these medium drivers do, the better they're going to look later on in the race. Is it medium to soft or medium to hard? I don't know. Very competitive grid. No one, I did a 0.6 in practice. What did you do there? It's got off my screen, I forgot. 15 of you in, thank you very much. I know you could all be sat in Tenerife or Barbados, putting your feet up, listening to the waves. Pretty sure it's daytime in Barbados. But no, you're here with me, and we're watching these quick drivers race around a circuit. 16 more to go after this one. 17 races this season. I think the only tracks we're not in, Brazil, France, 2 more. I don't know what they are. I can try and research generation when we have some time. I don't know why Fancy's not in there. Fancy a good circuit, right? Paul Ricard, decent racing circuit, nice and wide, tricky as well. Hello, Mr. LRB. How are you doing, buddy? The winner of Canada yesterday night. Well done. I had easy clutch for more, says Chapelele. Easier said than done, eh? The formation lap has begun. Hopefully we don't have a race glitch tonight. I probably jinxed it, but there we go. Give the drivers a couple minutes to warm up their stuff, and we'll just chill a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? That's what we do. LRB sucks egg, says Owen. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. You watching this in hospital? Well, I mean, he's might as well. Whack the headphones in on a bit of what's the most common drug called? What's it called? It begins with M. I've totally forgot. I've never been to hospital really. I'm never ill. What's it called? The drug meth? Oh, I don't know. Meth? That's a drug. Mixed data volume, says Chapelele. Is there good internet connection? I don't know if you're referring to what happened last night when it kicked me out of the race before it started. But yeah, I guess. Come on, Juice, says Jordan. Juice is 8th place. So I don't think his gap was that much to be honest. He's only 2 or 3 tenths behind 2nd place. Forget first. Forget Zach. He did it on the soft. Forget Zach. Habs on site 2 Wochen kein Datenvolume mehr. Unfortunately, I'm not German, as you can probably tell. So, any translation would be fab. I'm not even going to try and pronounce any more German because that may come across as nationist. I'm joking, by the way. Got to be careful what you say now, you know what I mean? Down to 14 the drivers come. They're getting ready and we're going to get ready. I'm going to try and save my voice because, yeah, I'm going to have a feeling that it might be used a little bit tonight because these drivers are pretty quick. 4G in the hospital, love to see it. Where's the 5G? You know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see what happens here because actually we'll have position change anyway. Right, let's prepare ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, for this. Should be a good one. Right, it's season 20 of Elite Vortex Racing. It's race number 1 in Bahrain. It's lights out and away we go. All the cars seem to get away reasonably well. The Renault of Zach is going to lead into turn 1. The Williams of Noah might make a dive to the inside. He doesn't. And the Renault of Zach still leads from provisional pole out towards turn number 4 now. Noah's 2nd, Montana's 3rd, Thomas is 4th, Midnight's 5th. He's going to try and look for an inside dive to turn 4. He faked for Mercedes. Whilst faking the Mercedes, he tries to make a move on Montana. It doesn't happen. The Williams of Midnight loses traction and he's wheel to wheel with the Alfa Romeo through turn 6 of Josh. Midnight gets through. Abuses the curve down to turn 8. We go almost freeway. These cocked up. The Williams of Midnight is off. The Ferrari's into the wall. They're going to be at the back. I don't know how much the damage is, but we carry on down to turn number 10. Easy to lock up. The Toro Rosso of Lewis goes down the inside of the Racing Point, but the Racing Point somehow gets a beastly exit through for Coupe past Lewis, and he's out of that position. Down to turn 11 we go. 2 wide everywhere you look. Dylan Warren in Mahas is in 8th. Trying to settle some positions, I guess. The Racing Point will be on the inside for 13. Drags for Toro Rosso wide with his teammate close behind. And I'm just trying to gauge what's going on. Anything going on at the front initially. The interval gaps are more than half a second. Interval gaps at the back are pretty close as well. Down to 14, these not go. The Racing Point taps for Renault in the gearbox. It sends for Renault wide of 14. And the Racing Point of Luke gets a position from that. And he had no damage. And lap 1 of Bahrain is done. We see a Ferrari of Juice pitting. Of course, he's got damage from what happened with the Williams. Them two at the back at the moment for that contact down into turn 8. And we go on. We'll remain from the front at the moment because they've all got a small gap, but it is bigger than usual. I think there was a dive there from potentially the racing point on the Toro Rosso, but it didn't happen in the end. A couple of people on the hard compounds for people that started in the bottom 10. Midnight gets past, well, tries to get past the Renault, down to turn 8. Will he have the same exact situation? He tries for a switch back on the Renault, probably won't have the traction. There's a Red Bull that was wheel to wheel with the Williams out of turn 8, but he, maybe for cautious reasons, just steps off the power a little bit and settles for 16th at the moment. Juiced comes out on a set of hards, and what a bit of a nightmare for those two starting the race. Having contact into turn 8, they both went off a track, they both lost a lot of time, and yeah, what a start to the season, ladies and gentlemen. F for Jack. Does that mean me or someone else? Because I'm called Jack, no? I don't know. F for my voice, maybe, but we should be alright. Right, on to lap number 3 of 29 laps. Zach leads. Oh, let's go position changes, my bad. Zach leads. Noah in second, Montana third, Thomas is in fourth. They haven't changed. Lions at 1, Vaporeon. Vaporeon. Screw it. He's up 7 so far, 13th to 6th. Josh is the same. Dylan and Q up 1 each respectively. Lewis is up 5. Luke's up 3. Sem's the same. Midnight's down 9. Juice is down 9, and you can see the drivers that were affected quite clearly if you just joined us. And Aero has stayed in 16th. The other driver to a pit of the Ferrari because he had damage. I'd have to watch the replay back to see who was the at fault or unlucky. The Ferrari having a cheeky look at the back of the Toro Rosso Sem. Down into turns 9 and 10 they go. Easy to, we'll probably see a couple of clipping the gearboxes of a couple of cars. You can see how close the gap of the gap to the cars are. Take away first to third, or first to second, sorry. The gap from second to 13th is only 7 seconds, so it's not too bad at the moment. The gaps are pretty close, even for lap 3 of the race. The smallest interval gap at the moment is second to first, and the Williams and Nolan will have DRS at this point, and he's probably going to have a little go at Zach past the start finish line. 200 miles an hour already. He's doing 191 for Williams. Will fly past Zach down into turn 1, and Nolan now leads the Bahrain Grand Prix on lap 4 with the Renault less than 1/10 behind. Up to turn 4 we go. Will the Renault have enough pace to get past Nolan? I don't think he will at the moment, and we'll see if he can stay behind that Williams car until after lap 10, so he can have another go at the DRS. Josh and his teammate in the Alfa Romeo are scrapping through turns 5, 6 and 7. They're both very close to each other. The Alfa Romeo Vaporeon lets Josh go a little bit past him. The second Alfa Romeo tries a little bit of switchback. I think he taps the back of his teammate. He loses some traction, and Fruitful Q, well, Dylan Warren got past initially anyway, but the Racing Bike tries to get past. There's 2 taps of the gearbox there. The Toro Rosso of Lewis braking a little bit later, or Fruitful Q broke a little bit earlier. One or the other, maybe a combination of both. Like I said, no one got past Zach on the previous DRS zone, the first DRS zone of lap 4, and he gets a half a second gap at the moment. I don't know what gap the drivers need to have a real good go at overtaking. I'd probably say 4 tenths or less. It's looking very tight so far. It's a little gap to second and third creating, but that's because the cars behind are having a little bit of a scrap. We'll go to 10th and 11th because they're very close. The problem is for the cars in front, if you're viewing it from in front of Luke, all the cars have got DRS anyway. So unless you've got some spare ERS available, which Luke didn't have, I mean he had 60, but you don't want to burn it too early, then, you know, it's not really going to help you. The gap from Thomas to Montana is less than 4 tenths of a second. So is the gap from Josh. Why I always get hiccups after commentating my first few laps. Maybe I just don't breathe enough. I don't know. Luke is very close to the gearbox of Lewis out of turn 8, down to turns 9 and 10 we go. Maybe the racing points maybe might play a little bit of tactics and a couple of games later on to help each other maybe get a better track position. Raikkonen at the back is half a second away from Will G in front. Aero 7, 3/4 of a second behind Raikkonen. Behind him, Sem is a little bit behind. I don't think he's stopped. So Semi's just running at the back for a bit. Where's my tyres gone? There you go. Lewis has got a 3-second time penalty. Exceeding track limits or corner cutting. I'd probably go with the first option. Easy to do at Belgium. And the Montana McLaren is trying to break the slipstream line as much as possible because he knew Thomas was on the way. And Montana doesn't have a gap to Zach. So at the moment Thomas has got DRS on a car but doesn't have DRS. Which is interesting. No one is managing to keep a racing pace on the median compound. The more that Zach, I guess, can keep second place so far, I'm guessing that it wouldn't help him as much as if he was doing the other strategy, but maybe track position plays will play a big part here on Bahrain. I'm not too sure. Midnight is Jack. So we got a commentator called Jack, and we've got a racer called Jack. We're just the best name in the world. But it is an F for Jack. You know, he went to, I don't know, at the end of the race, I'll go back on the stream and play back the event. It's quite easy to catch, it was on the first lap. And just see what kind of happened, because it looked like they made contact, but it didn't look like it was some sufficient contact. It just looked like they tapped. You know, I don't know. Lion is 5th. He's going to try and have a go with the Mercedes. It's going to be pretty difficult though, because Thomas has got the DRS to the McLaren in front. And Lion's a bit too far away to probably mount a push, to be honest. And the Mercedes isn't going to get close enough to make an overtake on the car, but if he keeps a good line out, he may have a go up to turn 4. He short shifts gears to turn number 4 as quickly as possible to get that traction done as early as possible. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, look at the tyres. Look at the tyres. Now, I'm not expecting them to be shiny, no way, but they're pretty not shiny already. Dylan Warren and the Alfa Romeo were wheel to wheel, routing down to turn 5. The Haas of Dylan gets past Vaporeon, or Vapor. I don't know, guys. What am I calling him? Vapor or Vaporeon? Make a name for me. I can say everybody else's name, fine. And he gets past TTG Vap. Don't really work, does it? To go into 6th place for now. We'll have a look at the leader gaps for you. Take away 1st and 2nd. The gap from 3rd to 11th is only 7 seconds, which is really good to see. You know, this is where undercuts work. And this is where an undercuts can gain you those extra, not only seconds, but positions as well. I've never actually seen a double stat in F1. Zach Pitts, after 7 laps of soft, you can see his blisters in his tyres. He's going to whack on the hard tyres, and he's going to go for a one-stop strategy, which is probably a good idea. I think it's definitely doable, no doubt about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have to nip to the loo, so I will leave it at the front for no one, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. Hello. Apologies. I know David Croft won't leave his commentary position to do that, but kind of had no choice. We are back. Right, what's going on in the chat? Luke bottled. Oh dear. Wait, as soon as I left, I got spun by the by the Happy Lewis guy. Which one's Lewis? Oh, but the Tom Rosso in 8. Oh dear. That's a little bit of a rip. Was it on stream? I don't think it would have been, would it? I'm just gonna rewind back just to see. I don't think it was though. So Luke was 9th. And then he got span. And then, yeah. Oops. Not very good for the racing points, especially when those two were looking pretty strong contenders for the constructors. Obviously 16 laps to go for Luke. I'm sure he'll be trying to fight for the Drivers' Championship as well. But of course it's very unfortunate that that has occurred, and I'm sure, I don't actually know what race is next. I think it's China or Australia. I think we're doing it in a little bit of a mixed order. Not completely random, but a little bit mixed. And yeah, I'm sure you will do what you need to do if that requires obviously stewarding or whatever that may require. No one did pit. It seems the strategy this evening is a medium to hard at this pace. 29 laps. Bahrain is of course. Sam gets a 3-second time penalty in 8th place. And what we'll do is we'll let everyone on the mediums pit, and then we will get see if any undercuts happen, see what the new position changes are, as we are on now lap 12 of 29, 18 laps to go individually. Now we'll just watch a couple more drivers come into the pits. The Alfa Romeo does his time penalty in the pits, which will help him understand where his track position is at this moment in time. Those drivers come out of the pits. We've only got one. Sorry, these 5 here. 4, sorry. Will G, Raikkonen, Aero, and Senbei all have to pit again, of course, for a medium compounded tyre. Those mediums were doing 11 laps, I think, so they'll need to take those hikes to lap 17, 18, and they'll be fine from there. Midnight gets a 3-second time penalty. Won't kill him. He's in 15th place at the moment after what happened on turn number 1 for Renault of Raikkonen just tapping the gearbox of Ferrari, and they're now wheel to wheel on the second DRS straight going down towards turn 11 for Ferrari. Tries to squeeze him off the racing line as much as possible, and the Renault comes through, but he takes it very wide. For Ferrari tries to make an inside dive to turn number 12. The cars were almost wheel to wheel through 12, and the Renault just gets by down from turn 13. And Raikkonen goes on the other side and the left side to try and block out as much touchscreen as possible, and Raikkonen keeps that position. But the Ferrari, he doesn't really have the ERS to compete. Can he use DRS only to try and overtake Raikkonen? I don't think so, because Raikkonen is on 6 DRS and the Ferrari has literally run out of battery. So that's an interesting one. Lewis now pits in the Toro, so I think he did his time penalty there, puts on a fresh set of hard tyres, and that will take him to the end of the race. We'll see if he can make up any positions from 14th place at the minute. We are waiting for the top 4 to pit. What we'll do is we'll wait for them to pit between laps 16 and 18, and then we will give you, of course, an update on the position changes and what the ending grid is going to look like towards the latter stages of the race. Of course, the 4 cars on the used hard tyres are all at the front at the minute. If we do a leader gap, I think the pit is about 20 seconds. So Raikkonen will be going all the way back down to 14th as it stands. That's just the way the not only does the cookie crumble, but that is the way racing goes. No one gets a 3-second time penalty for probably exceeding track limits, is my guess. Just trying to give everyone some screen time, just to make sure I don't just put all the racing to the top drivers. So Juice will go from start to front, So we've got Raikkonen who's leading the pack, still got a pit to go. Will G second, 2 taps behind. He might have a go up to turn 4, but the Ferrari's really struggling with battery at the minute, and he won't make a dive into turn 4 because that would have been a little bit silly from the wheel. Ferrari second, Aero is third in the Red Bull, 2.4 seconds behind the Ferrari. No one is fourth now, he has pitted. No one's looking decent for a race win at the moment. Can he keep it going and avoid contact for another 16 laps? We shall see. Sam is in fifth at the moment, he needs to pit one more time. Montana is sixth, so he's technically second on the pit list. Thomas is 1.4 seconds behind. Oh, sorry, Zach is half a second behind Montana. Thomas is 1.5 seconds behind him. Dylan Warren, there's a gap from 8th to 9th, which is probably going to end up being 56 or something, by about over 5.5 seconds. Fruitful Coots is in 10th place, 4 tenths behind Dylan, but they'll move up when people pit. Vapor is 11th place, Lions 12th, Josh is 13th, Lewis is 14th, Midnight 15th, we all know why, and Juice is 16th at the moment. I'm just trying to get some inside references, ladies and gentlemen, from our message pages in the league, and I don't think Luke is very happy. 7 minutes ago, what were you doing? He says. So that was some behind the scenes messages for you there. See how good I am at my job. I don't even have Sky Sports telling me which cameras to look at, what to say, or anything. 12 of you still in the stream at the moment. Thank you very much for those that are still here and let's not say being here with me. That sounds a bit weird, but you know, watching the same race as I am. Thank you very much. For those of you that are flicking between F2 and F3 and F1, I don't blame you. I'll probably be doing the same. Having a cheeky look at who's doing well in those races, how many drivers they've got left. We have 16. We lost one due to Luke being spun by the Toro Rosso of Lewis, but Lewis is now 14th, so maybe there was a little bit of karma involved. Karma's true, right? I don't know, but we have no idea whose fault it was. There's always two sides to a story, right? The Red Bull flying past the start finish line with no ERS, still hitting 202 miles an hour, catching up no one very closely, even though Aero has to pit anyway. So I'm sure if they were tussling really, really close, no one would probably just lane past anyway. No one and Zach are the top two technically at the moment, and that gap is 2.4, about 4 seconds, 4 to 4.5 seconds, give or take. There's a couple, excuse me. The gaps between Zach, Montana and Thomas, all within 1 second of each other, from the top to the bottom pair, which is good to see. The Renault will try and break as much of a slipstream as possible, of course, and they get away now in the same position that they were last lap, and we'll see if there's any changes to that in the coming laps to come. We might as well stick on board with it because the other gaps are not massive, but not as big. I mean, there is a 2/10 gap here from Lion to Vapor. The McLaren looked on the inside of Vapor at through turns 13, couldn't get the job quite done, but he probably will have a go on the start-finish straight for McLaren of Lion. And can he somehow get into a points positions? A couple of the top 4 pits on the mediums. The McLaren is probably going to fly past Vapor on the racing line. Vapor tries to move over and block the McLaren. The McLaren pushes him back a little bit, and the McLaren of Lion now goes into 7th place with the Alfa Romeo of Vapor behind. Second so the Alfa Romeo of Vapor will probably have a look at the inside of line to turn 4. Lion blocked that option off. Things are getting a little bit heated between these drivers. They just need to be a little bit careful, because a bit more of that and it could end the race for both of them. Lewis and Toro Rosso gets past the Alfa Romeo Josh. How did Josh slow down that much between what happened with his teammate? Did his back end go a little bit? I'm not too sure on that one, ladies and gentlemen. The Montana and Thomas, the three-way battle is a really, really good battle that we got to keep an eye on, because my guess, I might be wrong, been wrong before, but this won't be the positions they finish, because there's another 13 laps to go, probably another 20 minutes of racing to go. We've got a long way to go yet, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to save as much as our voice as possible for the latter stages when it gets a little bit intense. I don't think anyone's going to force an immediate overtake down into turn 1. The Mercedes tries a little bit of a fake on the McLaren. Montana was not buying any of it, and he gets away for now. Down to turn 4 they go. The gap is very close. Juice pits for the second time. He puts on a set of medium tyres, and unfortunately, because of what happened in the early stages, he is rock bottom last. I don't know if it was any fault of his own. I don't know. Josh got the place back over the Toro Rosso and Lewis, but got a 3-second penalty doing so. I think it was him. So that will help his situation at all. I think we'll just remain with this battle for a little bit. As you can see, they're very close. Some decent dynamic views from Codemasters for once. That's very kind of them. And we're just waiting for the next move. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the interval gaps as much as possible to see if there is any overtaking action for the next bit. Now, what we probably should do is have a little bit of a chat before something happens about the new calendar, because the calendar is it's not a whole calendar for a start, it's 17 races, and also it's not really in the right order, to be honest, but we'll have a little chat about it before. There has been an overtake from Raikkonen in the Renault, past the Toro Rosso of Lewis on the straight, and that was done in a clean fashion. Lion has got past the Alfa Romeo of Josh. Down to turn 4 we go. The Toro Rosso had a cheeky peek at Raikkonen. He wasn't going to let it happen. Anyway, we got... Right, so the calendar is... If I can learn all the... So it's Bahrain, Bahrain, Azerbaijan, Australia, China. I don't even know what that is. Is that Austria? I guess that's Austria. Austria, I don't even know what that one is. I don't even know my flags. I should know my flags. 2 races. Austria? What's the other one? I'm trying to think. It's not Spain. Oh, it could be Monaco actually. Monaco, Austria, Canada, Belgium, Britain, Germany, Singapore, Italy, Japan, Russia, Mexico, USA, Brazil. So it's missing out... it's missing out Spain, it's missing out Brazil, it's missing out Abu Dhabi, and it's also missing out Hungary, which is good because I hate Hungary. Raikkonen has set the fastest lap of the race, and he's going to try a dive to the inside of the Alfa Romeo into turn 1. The Alfa Romeo saw it coming, expected the switchback to happen. He tried for switchback, and he's going to have a go with DRS on the outside down to turn number 4. The Alfa Romeo is going to try and take the inside back, and we'll see who comes out better. He tries to drag the Renault off the track, and into turns 5, 6 and 7 they go, and they clip, and I think the Alfa took too much of the curb, and he's into the wall. And that is race over for Josh, I think, as Aero flies past. And it just didn't look like it was going to go well, did it? It just didn't. You know when something looks just... You know when something just looks like it's not going to work? Yes, that was it. Back to the front. No one is at the front. He's got a 7-second gap. I'm just going to scroll back to through the chat. I'm just going to scroll through the chat a little bit. So who said no one was going to win? Chapelele predicted Nolan was going to get first, Zach was going to get second, and Thomas was going to get third. He's not far off, is he, with 9 laps to go? He's got the first and second right, and Thomas is literally close to these cars as they're battering out of turn. Is this number 4? Yes, it is. Montana and Zach are almost wheel to wheel into turn 5. A little bit of a tap, Zach nearly loses it like Josh did in the Alfa Romeo, and down to 8 they go. Sorry for switching the wrong cars, that's my fault. The Renault taps the gearbox of the McLaren. I don't think he got damage from it, but it wouldn't have really helped. And Thomas is just letting these two squabble it out to get as close as they can. And was Chapelele's prediction going to be right? If Thomas overtakes Montana, I predicted 8 numbers. 8? Nah, he didn't. He's getting pretty close though. We've got to keep on board with it because these are the closest drivers apart from Lion to Vapor. Ooh, the McLaren losing the back left end, a cheeky bit of oversteer there out of turns 11. But he manages to recover it. And so let's have a look at the EVR. So the McLaren's got 60, he's got 55. The Mercedes is looking mighty. He's got a full battery left. He's going to have DRS. I don't think he'll just quite have the pace to catch Zach. To turn 1 to catch Zach. That's a tongue twister. As you can see there, but the more these two cars batter it out together, it's just buying the Mercedes more and more time to cut that gap even more. It was like what, 8/10 of a second? It's now just half a second. Midnight, he's flying through the grid. He gets past 8th position. We know he has good pace on this track. Will the Toro Rosso make a dive into turn 4 sensibly? He doesn't. Midnight goes into 8th position for now. These three are just so tightly matched. Anyone could end up getting a second here. And of course this is just helping no one. I'm sure no one has full map on. Might not, but I'm sure he does. And I'm sure he can see these three, how close they are. Come on, Thomas, says Alpit. I think, is that your teammate? So, I think it is, isn't it? Someone is. Go on, Zach, says Chapelele. Zach is really, really close to the gearbox of that McLaren. The problem is that I'm not going to spend time looking at race director. I'm not going to spend time looking at what penalties these drivers have. I'm just going to see how it plays out. I'm guessing, I haven't seen, I don't think, any penalties pop up for the drivers, if I'm being deadly honest. But we will see as they fly through down into turn 1. Zach still a quarter of a second behind from McLaren. If he gets a decent exit, he might have a go up to turn 4. He short shifts the gear into turn 4 to get the best traction possible. This is his chance to make a move down to turn 4. Zach overtakes Montana into turn 4. The question is, can he keep that position? I think he has solidified it. And Zach now moves into 2nd place. And Chapelele's prediction, he's not even here tonight. He's sat in hospital with drugs in his arm. He might even be spot on if Thomas can get into that third position, I think. And we will see. The Mercedes is only 4 attempts behind now. And also, we can't get out Montana. He might even try and go back for the second position, of course. He's definitely got the pace to do it. We will see. We'll just head to Lion quickly. He's got 3/10 of a gap to the Alpha Male in front. The Alpha Male doesn't have DRS, and he's probably going to move to the inside for turn 11. Right now, he's going to make a move. The Alpha Male is going to try and go as out on the outside as possible. The McLaren keeps the inside of 12. The Alpha Male might have the inside to... oh, sorry, this is 12, my bad. He does. And... sorry, he doesn't. And the McLaren of Lion gets through. Down to turn number 14 now. Will the Alfa Romeo of Vapor have a chance to get past the McLaren on the straight? He's got the battery to do it. Midnight's helping me tussle all the time. The Alfa Romeo activates his DRS and he's going to probably fly past Lion on the start finish straight down into turn 1, and the Alfa Romeo takes that position back. Not comfortably, but yeah, it was kind of comfortable in the end. But the McLaren will not give up. Out of turn 3 we go. He whacks on the DRS. He's already wheel to wheel, which means he's going to make good progress down into turn 4. And the McLaren retakes that position back. The Alfa Romeo taps his front right wing onto the McLaren. No end plate damage though, but that's just allowing Midnight to catch up and catch up. The gap was 3/4 of a second. It's now less than 1/4 of a second. And I'm sure Midnight will be able to get past a few, maybe even both of them in the short race to come. We will, don't forget, I won't forget about these cars at the front, but this is a nice midfield battle. It's dead on the midfield, 14 drivers left, 3 are out. Luke got spun, no idea what happened to Raikkonen. Oh, that was a Renault into a wall, I think. Never mind, I do remember. Midnight trying to use as much of a track as possible. He's trying to work on his racing line and put Vapor under as much pressure as possible. These cars are literally so close. Williams is so close to the gearbox of Vapor, but somehow, even though the Williams looked like it was catching, he then doesn't catch. Vapor taps the back of Lion. That's going to slow him down. The Williams of Midnight might get a decent exit. We'll remain on board to see what he sees. Will the Alpha get past Lion? Will the Williams do a double overtake? He gets past Lion, but 3 wide. Down into turn 1, the Alfa Romeo leads the 3-way hustle. He did lead until the McLaren tried to take as much of the inside as possible. And Lion gets a decent exit, but so does Midnight. This is excellent racing down into turn 4. Almost 3 wide for Williams, and Midnight is going to try and take as much kill as possible. He taps Lion on the back, it sends his car flying. The Alfa Romeo goes through. The Toro Rosso of Lewis can't just quite get through. And that means the Ferrari of Will G has caught up to the pack. The pack of 3 has turned into a pack of 5 because of those tussles. And Midnight's struggling for traction now on those 14-lap worn hard tyres. And yeah, we've got a gap of 5 now, which is interesting. But we do have to keep on tabs with these 3 up front because, wow, the Renault of Zach going really, really wide from turn 12 there. He got a 3-second penalty for that as well. So that's going to put him 4th at the minute if Thomas doesn't have a penalty. And will Jeff, the engineer, the best engineer on the planet, tell him the situation? I don't know. We'll go back to these cars for a little bit. The pack of 5 that has now been created. And we'll see if there are any overtakes down the start finish line. 4 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. 26, 27, 28, 29 to go. Please give me a better dynamic view. I can't see anything. The Alfa Romeo and Lion are wheel to wheel going down into turn 1. As they have been for the last 5 laps. Almost 3 out of turn 1, but you're not going to fit them through. Midnight goes on the inside of, the outside of the McLaren. He gets tapped. He goes on the outside of the Alfa Romeo, takes the best racing line as possible, and they're all tussling 3 wide. They're all hitting each other. The pack of 5 has just completely changed, and they were 3 wide going into turn 5. The Toro Rosso Midnight have come off the best. The Alfa Romeo Vapor has come off the worst. The Ferrari takes so much of the inside curb of 8, but I don't think he got a penalty. And that pack of 5, I think everyone has just changed their position. That was amazing to see, because I can't really keep up with what is going on. 3 wide, exactly, going into turn 11. The McLaren have the inside line. Why do I keep swapping drivers? It's doing my nothing. Toro Rosso then has the inside to turn number 12. They're wheel to wheel. You've got to be very careful because one slight mistake and they could be ruining not just the road race, but other people's. The Ferrari will gets a 3-second penalty. That's not going to help him. The cars are 3 wide going down to turn 14. Midnight was going to have the inside line. The Toro Rosso brakes quite well, to be fair. Late, but holds that braking perfectly. Midnight gets a 3-second pen for corner cutting. It was going to catch him out at some point, and they lead past the start finish straight line now. The pack of 4 is the pack of 5 is still a pack of 5, and I'm just going to let them batter it out for a little bit. Midnight pushes the Alfa Romeo off the track a little bit. Vapor does exactly the same. These 3 cars are going to look there, going to be very, very close. Got to be careful not to break into each other. Of course, a couple of them struggling for grip now. It's getting towards that stage of the race where there'll be oversteer or maybe even understeer, loss of traction, etc. We'll go back to the front. The Mercedes is still pushing Zach, but of course, as you guys know, Zach has a penalty. The closest Thomas can stay as possible, if he doesn't have a penalty, I'm sure he will take that position. Insane racing, says Alpu, and that is nothing but the truth. It is insane racing. Lewis casually overtaking 301. Yeah, I'm sure I commented on it, but now you say it like that, I'm thinking, did I say it? Did I say it? But yeah, I definitely did. Bottle Baguette from Zach, says Chapalele, and he gets overtaken. Oh no, he goes into the pits. Are the hard tyres dead? You can see the blisters on his tyres. Is he going to go for a fastest lap? But he's going to lose more points. Why couldn't he have done 2 more laps? Were those tyres on more than 70-80%? Who knows? If that was the case, they must have been racing at some pace. And because of that, Zach has now come out in potentially 13th place. He's come out in 12th, sorry. And that is, yeah. I mean, why didn't he stay out? I don't know. I think I did, Shap. I think I did mention him at some point. I think I did say the Toro Rosso got away well. I think. It was around the lines. Zach has bottled it. No? I don't know. I think he has. Could he not have done 2 more laps on both hard tyres? I don't know. Did he have a puncture? I don't know. We're just going to keep at the front for now. Actually, no, we're not. That's a lie. But no one does start and begin the final lap of the race. We'll just have a quick look on the position change for you. So no one did qualify second. He's now first. Montana 3rd to 2nd. Thomas 4th to 3rd, all at 1. Fufuku 10th to 4th. Lewis 15th to 5th. He did spin Luke out though, so we'll see if he gets anything for that. Lions stay 6th. Well, apparently. Don't know if it's true. Lewis has... Oh no! Lewis is DNF'd. I don't know where. I'm not sure where. Oh, it's on the wall out of turn 15. Lewis has put it into the wall. And although not good for him, I'm sure Luke will be happy to see that. I think he had a puncture. I don't know if you... I think you're referring to Zach, I guess. But those are the position change. We'll just do a check of them after the race anyway. Zach's got a 3-second time penalty. It's all gone wrong for Zach. With 3 laps to go. He only needed those tyres for technically 2 of them. But unfortunately, he must have had some sort of a puncture or something. It's no one. Apart from qualifying 2nd, and apart from overtaking, who qualified first? It was Zach, on the soft tyres. He has led every single lap of it, and for the first season of 2020, he wins in Sakir, with Montana being 11.6 seconds behind. Congrats to no one. Chapelede was correct, even though his head is probably on drugs in hospital. Montana goes 2nd. Thomas goes 3rd place. They complete the podium places. Fruitful Coot comes across the line with a respectable 4th place from 10th, I think. Lion comes through the line. He's got a car right behind him, but he won't catch him in time. Lion 5th, Midnight 6th. Vapor comes across the line in 7th place. Dylan goes 6th. Aero goes 6th. The penalties flying through. Vapor in the Alfa Romeo now drops to 8th. Will G in the Ferrari goes to 9th. And completing your top 10 was a certain car. I did not see it. And Dylan Warren, with no penalties, shoots up 3 positions at the end. Well done to him in the Haas. Montana, you had to destroy my prediction. Yes, he did. GGO says, no one. It's very easy to say GG once you've won a race. I get it. No, well played. There your podium winners, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just get a confirmed standings for you, which I can take a picture of you. And Shap's in hospital on drugs, and he still predicts most of the top 8, so fair play. They're just throwing champagne around. Why not? And we'll just have a look at the confirmed standings for you and have a look at what happened. It was a pretty good race. Pretty close. I think the gap from the start to the back was 31 seconds. Or 41 seconds. Over half an hour. It's not too bad, is it? To be honest. No one comes first from second on the grid. Montana v second, third on the grid. Thomas finished third. He was 4th on the grid. Fruitful Coot 10th to 4th. Lion 6th to 5th. Aero 16th to 6th. What a race from a Red Bull. Dylan 9th to 7th. Vapor 13th to 8th. Will G 11th to 9th. Midnight from 5th down to 10th. Zach 1st in quali, 11th at the end. 12th Josh, 30 Juice, 13th Josh, 14th for Lewis, who DNF from that point on. The session ends in 2 seconds. That's going to go off my screen. Bang. There you go. The race is done. And the standings are confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the end of the Bahrain Grand Prix. The first race of Season 2 out of 17 races. And what a race it was. What I can try and do, ladies and gentlemen, is try and get a couple of people in for some interviews. Would you like that? Just give me a quick yes or no. If not, I can just end it. Happy days. I don't mind. I'm not going to do it if you guys don't want to do it. If you would like some interviews, just give us a heads up, and I'm sure I can arrange it. If you could kind of hurry up there. I'll just put it in the chat. As for anyone down for a quick interview, question mark. Mic available, professional answers only. You know, because we are professional, aren't we? But get into interviews. Yes, we will be getting into interviews. Who wants an interview? ILRT Thomas wants an interview. Okay, we can organise that. Ladies and gentlemen, if my voice goes off, it's just because I'm inviting some people, okay? You might be able to still hear me, to be fair, but if you can't. There we go. Right, let's invite some people then. ILRT Thomas. Right, we got Thomas in. Dylan wants a chat. We can have a chat with Dylan, no problem. Right, we'll just get a couple of the drivers in to have a little bit of a chat. Oh, hello.
There we are.
Hello, everyone. Oh, that's Thomas. Hello, Thomas.
Yeah, hello.
How are you doing?
Very good, actually.
Good. I'll just get a few people in here, mate, and we'll just ask some questions, alright?
Yeah.
Good. Dylan wants a friend request. I don't know if we can do that. That's a We can do that, of course. There we go. Hello, Dylan. See if his mic is working. How are you doing? Is that you? Yeah. How you doing, buddy? Well, we'll discuss that in a second. I'll just try to get one more driver in before we have a couple of questions for you both, if that's okay. Let's try and get one more. The one who joined isn't shared. Can you two just double check in your settings that you can broadcast, please? Just double check. Okay, just double check for me.
Yeah.
It is on, right, let me just check the stream. I don't think I can hear you through the stream, boys. Let me see if it's my end. Don't think it should be. It should be. I'll just double check now because I can't hear you two on the stream. It's just a little bit. Yeah, it is always allowed. Huh. Thomas is good, but the other one is not apparently. Weird. No problem. Right, Thomas. Oh, sorted?
Yeah, sorted.
Right, I'll just start with you first, Dylan, if that's alright. So,
Sure.
as you passed the line, it looked like you were getting 9th or 10th, and then due to penalties, you then boosted yourself up to 7th. Are you happy with that result? And if not, what could have gone better for you?
No qualifying my LAN cable not giving up on me. I think that would be the best way, because if I didn't disconnect, I would have got 4th.
Right.
And if I didn't bottle quali, I would have been up there, so...
Right, so you would have been up there from the start of the race, and you feel you definitely have the pace to be up there as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
In qualifying... Oh no, sorry. No, but in qualifying, in my lap, I was on for a 27.0, and or maybe even a 26. And last corner, I went in deep and then got caught up on the curb on the exit, so I ended up losing a lot of time there, so...
Yeah.
Sort of ruined my qualifying.
You was the Haas driver today, you was one of them. Did you have a teammate with you today? I can't remember.
No, he joined like lap 14.
Oh, okay, so you were the only person that got Haas points today?
Yeah, not too much, but something at least.
Something, 6 points. So that was race 1 of 17, Dylan. How do you feel you could potentially do in the Drivers' Championship this season?
Or top 4, the Championship's the hope, but top 3 I'll be fine with. Championship seems unlikely at this point with Nolan, Tom, as I've now began to call him, and everyone else like Montana and whatnot. I think it'll be difficult, but maybe if I have a couple of good races, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think anything's possible with anyone early stages. It's just about settling into a rhythm. Some people, I don't know. Do you like Bahrain normally? Is it one of your favourites or?
It used to be a track I liked, but now it's really not.
Okay. And that's because
last season.
Right. Okay. No problem. What happened last season? If you could just fill us in.
Bottled the championship.
You bottled the championship in Bahrain.
Yep. Crashed into midnight.
And you was gonna win the championship.
Oh no, I wasn't. I was behind him, but I had a toe and I could have got. Matt was catching up as well, so I need an F2 now. But yeah, he was catching. I was gonna try get him to get midnight, but didn't work out that way. I ended up pitting with 16 laps. I couldn't go on mediums. And I went on worn hards, so went wonderfully. I also failed to do donuts, but that's another story.
We'll leave that one for another video, eh? We stay there for a moment. We'll come back to you for some questions at the end. Thomas. Now, please confirm to me where you just finished, because I don't have a picture of the standings.
Yeah, I finished third.
You finished third. You took the podium position. Zach had a problem. I think he overused his tyres, Thomas, and Matt bought you that position really. How do you sum up your? We'll call it a weekend. Your weekend performance in Bahrain.
Yeah, it was good. Nolan was way too out of reach for us. His pace was pretty crazy. But me, Montana, and Zach, we just stayed in DRS. The two of them, I just wanted them to battle. I didn't want to get involved in any of it because it was going to destroy my tyres. And by lap 24, I noticed his tyres were done. So that's why I was hoping, and that's why my prediction worked. So
how did you notice that?
His rear was sliding a lot, and he was making stupid dive bombs as well.
Right. So you just thought a bit more tactically, a bit more clever, and just saved your tyres. So
I nearly caught Montana, although he was 2 seconds in front after I got past Zach, and I really caught him up to 3:10. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So maybe another lap, and you might have had a. Yeah, definitely.
One more lap, and I would have had him.
Definitely, yeah. You did definitely catch him up.
But, I got BS penalty through battling with Zach. He kind of squeezed me towards the curb on turn 2 exit.
Yes, it was.
He squeezed me. Yeah. He squeezed me onto that curb. I got a pen, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to get the podium I wanted today.
So you came in looking for a podium.
Yeah.
You got a podium. For the first race of the season, 16 to go, of course. Chapelele has been in the chat for the whole race, Thomas, and he's been backing you up all the way. He's been giving you the GOAT symbols. He predicted a podium finish for you. Any final words to Chapelele for his support?
Well, Shaps is the GOAT. Shaps is the GOAT. Hopefully we can get him in the next race. Yeah,
hopefully. He's having fun in hospital. Lads, one at a time. We'll start with Dylan. The next race is... Wait, does any of you know it? I've just got it off my phone. Baku, right. The next race is Azerbaijan, which we all know is going to be chaotic even with the best drivers. Can I have a rating out of 10 for the track and your predicted finish, please?
I think a solid -5 and puncture at lap 25. So DNF.
So you go.
I think I'll go with that.
A -5 out of 10 and a DNF.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Because of a puncture.
Because of a puncture. What if you don't get a puncture and control it? What do you think you can get?
P6, because I'm not that confident with the track, but maybe. If I have a good qualifying, I'll be up there.
Good stuff.
For the race.
Thomas?
Yeah.
Rating out of 10 for Baku, and where do you think you can finish?
I'll base it on the traditional point system. From 1 to 10, I'll give it a 4. It's not one of my favourites at all. Absolutely hate it.
Okay.
The curves are bloody lethal.
Yeah. You have to run low downforce for a straight as well, of course.
Yeah, exactly. If I can get a really good quality, I'm just gonna pray to stay in the DRS of someone and just tow me along.
Azerbaijan does have a generative way of bringing some rain into qualifying to go race at some point.
I would love rain.
Okay.
I do love rain.
Okay.
If it can rain, it will be actually a saviour.
So you're a decent wet driver.
Yeah, I love the wet side.
Okay. thank you very much for the interviews, fellas.
Cheers.
The street Chapelele is giving you both love arts here, so he
You done what?
he's giving you love arts in the chat here.
Okay, that's probably meant for Thomas, not me.
Oh yeah, probably.
He was saying before the race that someone needs to kill me. I think it was
Oh.
Nolan should. Yeah, he just wanted Nolan in to see me suffer. So I think they're probably for Tom.
Oh well, we like a bit of rivalry, don't we, fellas? You know what I mean?
I don't like Shap, so.
Fair enough. Lads, thank you very much. If you could leave the party and I'll message you in my Twitter in a second. That'll be brilliant while
Tom,
I
you
end
suck.
this stream. Thanks, Dylan. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the first race of Elite Vortex Racing 2020 first season. Second season, but first season 2020. And next week we are in Baku. God knows how that's going to go, considering how closely packed they were tonight in some areas. Chapelele, see you next week. Hope you get better. All the other people that tuned in and are still here, thank you very much for using your Saturday evening to listen to me, which not many people would do, I understand. Have a fantastic weekend, what's left of it, and we will see you next week for Azerbaijan. Take care.